For the next 50 days, I'm gonna be doing The Rock's insane leg day.
Most people critique his training yet don't actually try it out, so I want to put it to the test and see if it could actually grow my legs.
But what makes his leg days so hard?
Dwayne starts off with 10 minutes of cardio and then some simple stretching doing leg kicks and using a foam roller. Then he kicks things up a notch by doing 3 sets of hip adductors. As intense as that is, he then goes into 3 sets of barbell glute raises.
And then yeah, that's about it. He usually just wraps it up there, very calm.
Wait, really? That's it?
No, not even close.
That was to warm up for the main part of the lift, which are 4 monster sets. Oh wait, what is a monster set? I'll show you. He starts off with a 45-degree leg press, reps those out, then immediately with no break goes into a vertical leg press. After finishing that stall contraption, we're not done yet because we then have dumbbell lunges followed by leg extensions.
And that was 1 set. We have to do 4. Kill me. And the most shocking of all is after that giant monster set, he finishes off with some squats. I'm laughing at this one. This is horrible.
Fortunately for me, Dwayne says that he uses a lighter weight and does 2 to 4 sets depending on how much of a little bitch he is.
Not a chance I'm going heavy on this. Not like I can anyways.
To that, I say hell yes, Dwayne. I will happily be a little bitch if it means only 2 sets.
This is the hardest leg day I have ever done. My legs are gonna be jiggling like a fat person on a roller coaster. This is genuinely difficult. I don't even know if my legs are pumped, but I could barely feel them. I think I know why they call him The Rock, because these workouts, they're gonna make me rock hard in my legs. And
that was only day 1, and since he trains legs twice a week, I knew I was in for some trouble, especially considering how I felt the next morning.
Good morning. It is the day after day 1, day 2 if you will, and I just got up, and my first thoughts are, I really wish I didn't. My legs are in excruciating pain and they are ridiculously sore. The type of sore where I'm probably going to be walking like I have a stick up my ass for the next 24 hours. But the soreness isn't the only way we're going to measure if this is actually effective or not.
There are 3 things that we're going to be looking at to measure how efficient The Rock's leg days actually are. Now, the majority of you guys have no idea what this is, but it's something I call sex. Now, what is sex? Well, if it's not obvious enough, S, size, and strength. How much are my legs gonna grow, and also how much stronger am I gonna get? Now, strength is gonna be a little bit more difficult to actually measure because of how chaotic the program is, and because he throws his barbell squats in at the end. So how is my barbell squat gonna go up when I'm doing a monster set before that? Anyways, moving on to the X of sex is excitement. Excuse my handwriting, I've been out of school for quite some time. And it's the 21st century, we all use computers now. But anyways, how much am I gonna enjoy hitting legs after seeing all of these gains? It's gonna be extremely hard to do this challenge. My legs already feel terrible. I can only imagine that with this proper structure and actually dedicating myself to training legs that I will happen to see some growth. So will that make me actually enjoy training them? I don't know. But the good news, well, it's not really good news, but the news is that I've skipped legs quite literally months leading up to this. So I think I'm gonna add some real size. But because I have skipped legs, and there is a reason that I'll explain later on, I am actually eager to get back into it. Time for workout number 2. I'm still ridiculously sore, probably the sorest I've ever been, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if I'm injured, decapitated, missing my legs, I'm going in there and I'm getting it done. The one thing I'm already realizing is this is impossible for us middle-class citizens. I need my own iron paradise. Keep in mind, I'm doing this in a public gym. That means I have to hope that nobody grabs my machine when I walk to the other one, and since I'm not an asshole, I'm taking off the weights and taking all of my shit with me. I'm getting my daily steps in just from going from machine to machine.
Not only did I have to walk across the gym for each exercise that I did, but there was another issue that I never thought about when doing this in a public gym.
Someone's on the machine I need to get on. I got a disadvantage here. It's like getting spawn killed in a video game. What am I supposed to do? I can't get on the machine. I'm forced to take a rest. Please don't judge me, Dwayne. I promise I'm doing everything I can. Want to know the other part that sucks? I was just walking all throughout the gym. I couldn't find my phone. I left my phone on the first leg press machine. I was going crazy. I went up to the front. I said, hey, did anybody bring a phone up? They said no. I said, holy shit, someone's gonna steal my YouTube channel. But that didn't matter. The guy's still on the leg extension. I'm just looking at him. I'm staring him down like he's a 20-year-old girl and I'm an 85-year-old man in the gym. Hopefully he's done soon though, because I got it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I didn't account for this.
Luckily, I made this work. Whether it was using the horrible and stupid hoist machine for leg extensions or using an alternate leg press, it was the only way I could make sure these were true monster sets. If only I knew these issues were silly compared to how I'd be feeling in the coming weeks.
I feel like I'm about to really get injured, and if I do get this injury, it's gonna ruin my entire life. Day 2 finished. I have a few things to say. Firstly, I do not like that vertical leg press. I think it's comparable to getting hit by a car for how it feels on my lower back. But physical pain, who cares? Because there's a lot of mental pain. Doing this in a public gym, as you've seen, is unbearably anxiety-inducing. Not to mention the fact I have a Gymshark shirt on, Gymshark socks, then a Young LA hat. I think that's what the young kids call cross-dressing. I look like the biggest wannabe influencer though, who sucks and he's just going from machine to machine because he doesn't know what he's doing. That's really what it looks like, but I can't lie, these workouts are killer. Ending with the barbell squats are really difficult. I wish I could go a little bit heavier, but just given the volume and obviously the fact I'm doing these fucking workouts back to back to back to back to back is it's a little difficult. But I'm hoping as the challenge progresses, I'll be able to kind of up the weight and hopefully increase my strength. I do want to make sure that I am maximizing my potential to actually make gains. So, for the next 30 days, I'm going to be running a steroid cycle. I am absolutely kidding. I'm just going to be increasing my calories. More protein, you know, the right thing to do. But there's another surprise. I'm also going to be throwing in one of The Rock's cheat meals every 2 weeks. If you don't know what The Rock's cheat meals are, good for you. You'll find out. I'll find out. My toilet will find out. It's a lot of food.
However, we wouldn't get our first cheat meal for quite some time, which meant I had to push hard inside the gym to earn the calories. And trust me, I was pushing hard.
Another workout done. These are brutal, but I gotta be honest, I think they're working. Like, look at that, they're actually looking pretty good. Starting to get more separation. Summer's here. I can't hide my legs with sweatpants anymore like I've been. I still wear sweatpants in the summer just to do that, but no more. It's shorts all summer. I don't want to be made fun of. I admit it, I skip legs all the time. But I shouldn't be made fun of because my legs are small. So this challenge is gonna help that. I'm still not able to go heavy with my squat though. That's the one thing that's bothering me. I can squat heavier than what I am squatting, but when it gets to the end of that workout, my legs are just so jello that I can't do anything. And I know I'm gonna get a bunch of people who weigh 500 pounds and squat 315 that are gonna be giving me a list of reasons as to why that is or why my form's bad, but I don't care. I'm doing the challenge my way. My form is bad, I just care if my legs grow. So let's keep fucking pushing.
As the days progressed, so did the workouts, and surprisingly, so did my legs. Do you see that little vein right there? Thanks, Dwayne. Although despite the visual improvements, not everything was all good. I'll talk about the negative side effects in a minute, because for now, it was time for our first cheat meal.
While some people on Sundays will reserve that day for God or maybe go to church, The Rock reserves those for his cheat meals. Now what does that mean? Well, for one, I think The Rock is an atheist. And I also think that he has no self-respect. I've created plenty of things in my life, some that I'm not proud of, some that I'm very proud of, and then we have these. Where do I begin with these? Well, for one, they weigh as much as a newborn baby. These are The Rock's coconut banana pancakes.
Today I am enjoying these, well, should I say devouring these amazing coconut banana pancakes.
I followed the ingredients to a T, which was surprising that I actually was able to do that. But, I made way too many, so when I do eat this, I'm gonna do my absolute best. The calorie count, I have no idea. Who counts their calories on cheat days? You're a psychopath. Listen to this thud. Those are pancakes. These could kill somebody. Not from diabetes, because they're fucking heavy. However, he's not done there, because as we know, The Rock always likes to go overboard. He also loves peanut butter. He's like a dog. He smothers his pancakes in peanut butter. Man, just adding calories. Oh boy, that's like another, okay, that's like extra 600 calories. Yeah, who cares at this point, right? Who cares? I'm gonna pop up the full recipe on screen here if you for some reason wanted to make this. Listen, I know we could all agree that this is a ridiculous amount of food, but hopefully we can also agree that these are pretty good looking. I think I did a pretty good job. I feel like I should pray before this meal. Pray that I don't get diabetes by the time I wake up tomorrow. Oh boy. Oh. Whoa. That was good. Oh my god, bro, this is a lot of food. Oh my god. I feel like I just recreated that iconic picture of him sitting in front of the pancakes. That was a lot. And I couldn't follow the instructions too well, because, well, you know why. Since I made a way bigger batch than he did, I'm calling it quits there, because I want to look like I trained like The Rock, not consumed him, and this is just too much. Hopefully, this will at least fuel a solid leg day, because that's the goal. I want to grow these legs. I do not want to grow my belly. We are almost a month down, and I'm feeling fantastic, for the most part. I'm gonna say something I really never thought I'd say, but I'm actually enjoying doing legs, and it's really because I think it's working. With that being said, I think it's working because it's genuinely a lot, and since it is so much, it's of course gonna have its downsides. Firstly, on these days when I train legs, I have no energy for anything else. It takes everything out of me to get through these workouts, and then I have no energy left for the rest of the day. That leaves no energy for any of the normal things that I do, which are super exciting. So I do think that they are working, but today was a really bad day. I feel like I'm about to really get injured, and if I do get this injury, it's gonna ruin my entire life. My life is gonna suck. I was just doing the squats to end the workout, and as soon as I went down, my lower back got extremely tight, and I felt like it was about to give out. And I think it's really because of that vertical leg press, especially since I'm going from machine to machine and going super quick and not really having much time to take a rest and kind of decompress. It's just one after another, and it's brutal on my low back. This is honestly the reason why I stopped doing legs to begin with. So let me tell you the story of the worst leg day of my entire life.
About 1 year ago, I was warming up for some squats with just the bar when after only a few reps, something snapped. I immediately fell to the floor, losing the ability to stand up, not being able to apply pressure on either one of my legs. From my back to my feet, I was essentially immobile and had to wait for somebody to come pick me up. Why this happened? Until this day, I have no idea. Yet about 15 hours later, before going to the hospital, I was able to move around again. To make sure I don't run into the same issue, I took it easy for the next few days. I still want to do legs, just not the normal routine, and I stayed away from any pressing movement. Instead, I did things that could support my lower back in hopes to alleviate some of that pain.
Okay, so we had a slight delay with our training, but we can't be falling off with our eating. And by eating, I mean cheat meals. I'm forced to have a cheat meal. That sucks. Now, the last month we've been Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but today I'm gonna be Dwayne "The Roll" Johnson, because we have so many sushi rolls, there's no shot this doesn't add some to my belly. Another one of The Rock's famous cheat meals is his sushi platter that he also combos with some cookies. This is like the grossest combo ever. I'm either gonna get tapeworm or diabetes. Cheat meals are actually extremely beneficial when you do them right. If you have a cheat meal 5 times a week, that's not a cheat meal, that's just a bad diet. But if you actually structure a proper cheat meal and have maybe more carbs than you normally do, that could be extremely helpful during a diet. For example, if you have been having low carbs, your glycogen levels are gonna be low, and your body's also gonna be stressed and holding on to water. So if you give yourself a meal where you have an influx of carbs, it's not only gonna help that, but also allow your body to let go of some of that extra water. I'm full of water now, so I'm not letting go of anything. It looks like I've let go of my diet, and now I'm just saying fuck it. I'm gonna do the best I can, as per usual, and I'm gonna tackle it.
Here's 28 minutes of me eating at 25,000% speed. I had about 4.5 sushi rolls and 3.5 full cookies. Now, aside from my blood pressure, the only positive was that we were finally back in the gym and could use that food as fuel, which luckily, actually listening to my body with my injury worked out in my favor.
First workout back since my little injury break. Now, in the beginning of the video, I said that my legs are going to be like a fat person on a roller coaster, and I think I've evolved. I'm more like Lizzo and Rick Ross both trying to ride a bike at the same time. And I'm the bicycle. That week off was great because I feel very recovered and honestly stronger, and I have more energy and endurance through the workout. But it's also hitting me harder now that I'm actually pressing hard with the movements. Now, during that week, I mentioned I did a lot of supporting movements for my legs and my lower back. Doing stuff like that is extremely beneficial if you have any low back pain. A lot of time if you have pain in an area like your lower back or maybe your hips, it could be because some of the muscles that support those muscles are weak. If you're able to build those up and strengthen those, it could help alleviate some of that pain. So truthfully, spending that week kind of recovering and tackling those muscle groups, that really helped me to feel better now. But now that I'm feeling better, I have zero excuses.
Hopefully you noticed, but I did lunges on the Smith machine instead of dumbbells. It's always important to find alternative ways to do something that works for you, and for me, depending on how packed my gym was, I would do this. I mean, just look at this layout. You had the leg press, the vertical leg press, and then the Smith machine all right next to one another. It's like it was designed just for this challenge. Although now that we were back doing these full workouts, it wasn't just my legs that I'd have to worry about getting fatigued.
Okay, so I wanted to measure my excitement with training legs with this challenge, and to be honest, I'm actually excited to go to the gym and do legs. So it's working, but my God, I am so sick and tired of doing the same workouts every time. Not only are they tiring, but it's just exhausting going from machine to machine and part of the gym to the other part of the gym. I guess the one good thing is that it's forcing me to not be anxious in the gym and kind of get rid of any social anxiety. Like I said though, I do think that it is working. We have made it to the final day of the challenge and the final workout, and I am so proud of myself for sticking with it. It was tough, it really was, but we're done. Based off how my legs look right now, I would genuinely say that this challenge was a success. They just aesthetically look better. I have more separation in my quads, and the pumps have been insane. Does that mean they actually grew? I'm not too sure. We're gonna find out in a few days. I wanna wait for the swelling and the soreness to go down so we get a true measurement. I know there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna comment on the way that I lifted things, the weight I used, the form that might have been slightly incorrect, and the one thing I have to say before commenting any of that is that you have to keep in mind that I genuinely don't give a fuck. So you might as well not comment it. I used to do everything very optimally and lift by the books, but after years of doing that, it really burnt me out. So nowadays, I do things based off how I feel. For example, most of the time when I got to the squats at the end of the workout, I really didn't feel like I could push past the 25 on each side, so I didn't. It felt good enough for me to do that. Didn't want to push it to risk any injury, so I did what was working best for me. Hopefully that's something that you guys can take away from this challenge. If you guys are lifting in the gym, don't lift based off what others are telling you or what others are doing. Just do it based off how you feel and off your goals. If you're not enjoying your workouts, there's a 5% chance that you're actually going to stick with it. Statistically, I don't know what that percentage is. I just made that 5% up. That sounded like I pulled it from an article or something. I didn't. Based off research at Harvard University. Who the fuck am I? But before I check the measurements and see if it actually worked, there's one thing I gotta do. I owe you guys, and I owe The Rock, one last cheat meal. Lord knows my legs need it after this workout. Our final cheat meal is here, and we're going out with a bang. I just Uber Eats'd an $100 steak. I don't have it like that. I really don't. This video is financially killing me. Why does The Rock have to eat such expensive meals? As per The Rock's Instagram, I have a giant ribeye steak and a giant loaded baked potato. Now again, this meal is at least 15 pounds. Like, it's bending the plate. That's horrible. But there's nothing else I have to say. Except for The Rock said that was his nickname in college, was bone and ribeye. I don't know what that's all about. I don't want to know either. Gonna be washing this down with some Gorilla Mine, which is also what fueled all of the workouts through this challenge. So if you guys want to get some for yourself, go use code FOX at checkout and save yourself 10% off. This is probably gonna shave 10 years off my life, so let's just dig in and get it over with. This is a vegan's worst nightmare. If you're coming from my previous video and you are a vegan, you're probably blocking my channel at this point. Done. Oh, you know it was a lot of food when you're just sweating while eating it. For anybody who's gonna be nitpicky, this is the bone that's left, and I did give 2 bites of steak to my girlfriend because my girlfriend just watched me eat an entire steak and she has nothing to eat, so that's all she gets for today. Kidding. If you have a girlfriend, then you understand. Let's just hope that this contributed to my legs, and let's hope that they grew. Now it's finally time to see if these 50 days were really worth it, or if I just wasted my time inside the gym and wasted a ton of calories having those cheat meals. Now, what were my measurements before this challenge? Well, let's rewind back to the beginning. Alright, it's 1 day before I start this challenge, so let's see where my legs are at. So I know where I measure it for next time, I'm gonna go to the halfway point of my quad, which is right here. Unflexed is 21 inches. Now I'm gonna give them a flex. Pathetically, not much of a difference. Looking at about 21.5 inches there. Let's see how much these bad boys grow. I'm gonna start at the same place that I started last time, about the halfway point of my leg. I have a little mark here, so I was born to do this challenge. I know where to start. Wow. Unflexed, I grew over a whole inch. I was at 21 before. Now I'm at 22 and like I don't know what number that is. I'll pop it up on screen. I'm stupid. That's over an inch of growth unflexed. Let's see flexing. So flexing, we're getting just a little bit more, a little bit under 22.5. So right there. That's about 22.5 inches. I grew a whole inch. I'm honestly really happy with that. I mean, an inch might not seem like a lot, but when it comes to adding size to your legs or your forearms or whatever, it's a lot. I do think that a lot of the growth came from the hip adductors, believe it or not. That's a muscle that a lot of people overlook, so having to do those every leg session, I think it really helps. But I'll take my inch. Thank you, Dwayne.